Welcome to the Sports Show, where the weather hasn't been too good for us this week, so you might be sitting comfortably in your seat, switched on to the South Australian Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next hour. As always, the great Barry Curtin joins me. Baz, how are you?
Good, mate. How you going?
I am very well, mate. Hey, let's get off to a flying start here. Let's talk about the AFLW.
Yeah.
The Crows obviously playing tonight up against Melbourne. The most successful team, still early days, of course.
Yeah.
3 premierships, heading for number 4.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty good run for them, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a great run for them. No problems at all. And,
Yep.
you know, they could win another one quite easily. Although the teams are getting better and whatever.
I mean, 3 in 6 years, but I know, again, I preface it by saying we're only 6 years in, but still they've got 3.
Oh,
so
of course they have, yeah,
they
that's
can
right.
get another one here, we'd be pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide played their last game, of course, at Alberton, a sellout crowd, 2,000 people. So I'm trying to get my head around.
Yeah, that's right.
And absolute full credit to those fans that went out, because it was shocking.
Unbelievable.
The conditions were horrendous, so well done to those supporters.
Yeah.
But people have come up and said, how was 2000? When did 2000 become a sellout at Alberton? I go, well, I'll ask Baz. He may know the answer to that.
I think one of the reasons why they say that was because there's a lot of renovation going on down at Alberton. There's parts of the ground that aren't open. There's lots of there's the on the other side of the ground it's not open at all.
Yep.
You've got the precinct itself, which is open, which most of the people were sitting in grandstands, both the Foss Williams stand and the RB Quinn.
Yep.
Stand, so 2,000 probably would have been as many as they could probably fit.
And the tickets that are sold, so you can't buy tickets. Those people haven't gone because of the conditions. But
but as you said, full marks to the ones that did turn up.
Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. They said they were building a foundation for this year. I don't think the expectations were too high. You certainly wouldn't put them in the Crows bucket. No. They win one game, close in a couple of others.
Drew one, I think. Drew one,
Aaron Phillips goes on next year.
Yeah.
It looks like they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, lost a couple of players though.
They did.
Got reported.
They did.
But
Port is one of those clubs, mate. And the coaches mentioned it a couple of times. We've come into this club. Winning's what this club's about. That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
How long does she get when you're saying that's what's supposed to happen, and you only get one win?
Yeah.
How long do you reckon before
I
they
think
go?
she's okay for a couple of years.
Couple of years. You give her a couple.
I think so. Yeah. You know, I mean, Port.
But is 2 enough? Should it be more than 2?
I think they've got a. I think. I
reckon she should get more than 2. That's all. No.
But I think you need 3 at least to just get it going.
Well,
maybe
I agree
more.
with you. Maybe more. That's what I'm saying. Maybe more.
I think they have Port Adelaide in their first year have had the biggest attendance of all the clubs.
Yes.
Now these stats might get you. Also, the biggest corporate support of all the clubs.
Well, I heard that.
So that is an interesting couple of stats.
I heard Koshy talk about that, and then I heard some people going, well, yes, but they're also taking the numbers that the Crows games when they had the showdowns and those things into that.
Oh, really? The Crows
as well.
get a mention, yeah.
So, no doubt they've got a good following. No doubt they've got an unbelievable loyal following.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting to see where they are. But while you bring that up, I had a quick look. The AFL have this where they take all the stats and interview stuff. And okay, so the top 3 most popular AFL players this season.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Dusty Martin.
Yeah.
He played 9 games this
year,
year, but he was number 1 last year. But he's the most popular player around the country. So not just at Richmond, around the country.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Buddy Franklin.
Wow.
So number 3 was a tie.
Neither of those guys had a good year.
Number 3, Dangerfield, Pendlebury, Bontempelli, Fife and Cripps all tied for 3rd place.
Yeah.
Now, this is the one that surprised me. The most popular club, the most supported team outside of your own team, Sydney Swans.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
North Melbourne were last at 17th, but Sydney, it kind of surprised me. I would have gone a Collingwood or a Richmond or the bigger Essendon, but no. And so that was Sydney. Yeah. And the AFL won the most popular sporting event this year on TV with tennis coming in second. The Australian Open was second.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. So the AFL's bounced back pretty nicely, mate. They've done a pretty good job, mate.
Well, that's interesting stats.
Yeah. Now, we've got plenty coming up on the show, mate. Greg Quinn's going to join us.
Yeah.
An outstanding story. A bloke that's just retired at 67 years of age.
Yeah.
Played over 450 A-grade games of cricket. And
really good cricketer.
He's got some great stories. We're going to have a chat about dragon boats. There's Asian Championship coming up in Thailand in a couple of weeks. So Cassidy Burns, one of the young South Australian boys, is in, 20 years old. He's competing in that. Luke Macchiaro is going to join us, talk about what's happening in the SANFL. And we've got Christie's Beach Surf Lifesaving coming in. So Kate Widdowson, is coming in with a couple of young kids, a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Yep.
Just want to talk about them. They've got a new program called Schnippers.
Yeah.
So we want to find out what the Schnippers are up to, mate. Okay. But we need to get over to Millie with the news. Millie, what have you got for us?
Thanks, Phil. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another week in sporting news. After a tumultuous few weeks, Netball Australia have landed themselves a new $15 million deal with Visit Victoria after their recent withdrawal from mining giant Hancock Prospecting. The new deal will now run until June 2027, which will in turn put the Diamonds as the face of Victoria branding, including tourism campaigns and merchandising for the home and away games. The 2023 Super Netball Grand Final will now also be played in Victoria, and the Diamonds will play test matches and hold training camps between 2023 and 2026 within the state. With Victoria already the sporting events capital of Australia, this adds another notch to the state's belt. Some concerning news has emerged from Port Adelaide this week as their latest recruit, Jason Horne-Francis, has undergone surgery on both legs due to severe leg pain. Port Adelaide said they were made aware of the player's ongoing leg complaints during the trade period, but weren't scared off of the deal. Now, weeks after joining the Power, which saw North Melbourne lose their top #1 draft pick, Horne-Francis underwent surgery to release the pressure on his arteries and restore normal blood flow to his lower legs. Horne-Francis' decision to opt for surgery means he won't join the clubs to the fourth-year players when they report to pre-season training on the 21st of this month. It has now been announced that Recfish SA will now be the independent voice for recreational fishers around our state, with $200,000 of funding being put into the organisation over the next 4 years. Recfish SA will now work with the state government to implement policies and strategies designed to increase and diversify participation in recreational fishing activities. The organisation will now be able to help fishing clubs apply for grants and funding, and with over 270,000 recreational fishers in South Australia, it's sure going to be wonderful for our community. That is all the news I have for you this week. I'm Millie Walters. Stay tuned as we'll be right back for more on the SA Sports Show.